Okay, so we're gonna do skill number 4. If you flip the page, we're gonna start right on page 27. This is called creating two-way tables. So what two-way tables does for us is it kind of organizes our data. So it's a way to organize what we have. So categorical data is anything that's not numerical. So anything with like categories. So example, color is categorical because it's blue, green, it's anything without numbers. And numerical data is any measurement with numbers. So if you look down here, it says identify any categorical data. So height would be numerical because you measure height with numbers. Hobbies, that would be categorical because hobbies could be riding a bike or drawing or stuff you do. It's not like necessarily a number. And capacity is like how much something can hold. So that is usually measured with numbers, some sort of numbers, whether it's ounces if you're dealing with fluid or if you're dealing with space or area. Capacity is usually measured with numerical data. So if you could pick in number B which one is categorical, you can go ahead and complete question B if you want to pause the video. We're going to move on. So if you look at A, it says identify whether the data that is given is categorical or quantitative, which is also numerical. Quantitative is usually numbers. It's got that N in it. So A, it says fast, moderate, slow. Well, there's no numbers there, so that would be categorical. B would be 15 points, 20 points. So it's talking about points, that's numerical. And C, this would also be, although it has numbers in it, this would be categorical because it's talking about games, and that's like a category, like it happened in this game. So that is a category. And if you want to create your own set of categorical and numerical data, please do that right now. You can pause the video. I'm going to move on to page 28. What is a two-way table? It is a way to organize into categories. You can inference things about the data. So it's easier to see how you can compare the data in different ways. So we'll write that too. Compare data in different ways. Okay. So if you look down here, it says a random sample of 20 adults were asked to indicate whether they watch soccer. Results are shown below. So F represents female, M represents male, Y represents watch soccer, and N represents do not watch soccer. So I have two factors here. I have gender and I have if they watch soccer or not. So in the gender, they can either be male or female in this data set. So if you look, so the way we can make the tables is I need a space for their gender. So we'll do this for gender. And the gender that they could be in this scenario, in this data set, is male or female. Okay, and then I also need categories for if they watch soccer or not. So this would be watch soccer. So they either yes they do or no they don't. And then we also need like the totals for each category. So I know this is looking kind of confusing, and I'll move it up so you can see it. But basically you need a space for each of the categories. So the categories here are gender, you can either be male or female, okay? And watching soccer, yes or no. So you can have that as two other categories. And we're going to kind of look at different ways to compare the data. If you're male and how much you watch soccer versus if you're female and how much you watch soccer. So if you look, the total number of adults we have, I'm just going to count how many people and how many spaces we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh, it says 20. right? That was right in the data set. So you could count it and you would still get 20. But total number of people, whether they're male or female, total number of adults watch is 20 in this case. So then I count, this is what I like to do, like to count how many are male. So like this would be the total of how many people are male. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 people total out of 20 adults are male. That means that 11 plus what is going to give you 20. How many people should be female in this data set? Well, it should be 9. So let me just make sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Yep, so there is 9 females. I always like to double check my math because sometimes you can just count wrong. So make sure your total lines up. So then I also like to calculate my totals for how many people watch soccer. So I'm going to count all my yeses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 total yeses. So if I have 10 total yeses, I should have 10 total no's because it should add up to 20, my grand total. So let me just count, make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, 10 and 10. Perfect. So I know that this side adds up to 20 and this side adds up to 20. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to categorize. So I'm going to count how many male people watch soccer. So I'm looking for male and yes in my table. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 people are male and they watch soccer, which means if the total is 11, 8 plus what is going to give me 11? Well, 8 plus 3. So 3, but I like to double check just to make sure. So I'm looking for males that don't watch soccer. So this is 1, 2, 3, so 3. Yep, I got 3. Perfect. So they all line up there. So now I'm going to look for females that also watch soccer. So I'm looking for female and yes. So 1, 2, 2. So that way, so 2 plus what? This should be 7, but let me double check. So I'm looking for female and no. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7. Perfect. So everything should line up. Your totals column should line up with this row. So I have 11 total in this row. I have 9 total in this row. And I have 20 total in this row. And it should also work the same way here. I have 10 total in this column, and I have 10 total in this column, which makes 20. So everything in your table should work out that if you add it up, you should get your totals in each column. So this is kind of a way for us to look at how we're comparing data. So this way I can easily see here, the people that watch soccer, 8 out of 10 of them are male, and 2 out of 10 of them are women. So clearly more males watch soccer than women. If I look at how many people don't watch soccer, more women don't watch soccer than men. But if I want to just look at genders, I know that 8 out of 11 males liked soccer or watch soccer, and 2 out of 9 females watch soccer. So it's kind of a way to look at your data in different ways. So if you flip the page, you are going to have to construct two-way tables, and all you're doing in this skill is just constructing them. We're going to interpret them in the next skill. So just we're practicing on interpreting them. So it's important for you to have your labels up here. So we were talking about watching soccer and gender, and then in your genders, you know, what categories you have. So yes or no, I watch soccer, male or female. So those were like our subcategories for this table. If you have any questions, please come over to the table.